Stick around for this episode of the Tunepact podcast where we got Matt Maguire, a.k.a. Sawborg Destructo from GWAR.
That's right. I'm on here. Come check it out.
Welcome to the Tunepact podcast. I'm your host, the punk rock pop-pop, Lee Pierce. And this week we are joined by the one and only Matt Maguire, Sawborg Destructo from GWAR. Matt, thank you so much. You guys just got off a world tour. Thanks for taking the time. Could you do us a favor and tell us a little bit about yourself for anyone that may be living under a rock for the last 35 or 40 years?
Well, I get, for me and my position in GWAR, it's not hard to not know who I am, basically because we're all hidden by masks. So there's that anonymous part of it that gives us that ability to, like, this guy, who is that guy? I've seen him around a lot, but, I don't know his name. I don't know who he is. What I do for GWAR is I've been currently the art director for probably the last, 10, 12 years, something like that. My predecessors who helped start the band or started the band, they've all kind of retired or moved on in other directions. We have a team of 4 or 5 artists that are pretty constant that work on all the props and costumes and stuff. And I'm one of the guys who sort of orchestrates all the madness that goes into either the comic books or the visual show or, on our videos and stuff like that. So that's basically what I've been doing for the last 34 years now, I think it is. Yeah, it's been an amazing ride. We've been touring all over around the world, especially this year has been one of our busiest years in a long time. We had a new record come out, and we had a comic book attached to the new record. We had action figures come out. We had so many crazy products and things happen, along with 2 big ginormous tours that were just amazing. And then like I was saying earlier, we just got back from Australia. We did a short run out there. We hadn't been back there, I think, since 2014, and so it was funny to see the people there because there was the myth. It's like we hadn't been there in a long enough time that the next generation had come and were like, but we heard about this crazy band. They chopped the prime minister's head off and almost got kicked out of the country for it. It was like, we gotta see this band. So it was fun. It was a lot of good times out there.
And that's one I'm a longtime fan. I was 15 when Scumdogs came out, and I don't know if there's a more perfect album for the weird art kid, skater kid at 15 than Scumdogs. So I've been a fan I even got Dawn of the Day and the Night of the Penguins on VHS when I bought it when it first came out.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that
I've
one.
been a fan for years, and I've always loved because it's the band that could go on forever.
Yeah.
It can literally go on forever, so it is generational. I know 3-generation families that are all fans.
Yeah.
So it is when you aren't able to go to a place like Australia like that. It's literally an entire generation that hasn't seen you yet because, I've got grandkid that'll end up. I've got a grandson that's 7 now. I mean, he'll end up listening, and it's just, it's so neat to see because you guys can go on forever. Well, not you, but the brand.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's. I've been telling the guys, I was like, yeah, we just got to get ourselves to be like the Lorne Michaels of GWAR, right? We have to be all right, let's get some young kids in there, put them in some costumes, and send them out, right? We'll keep writing and doing stuff in the background, but let's pass it on, keep passing it on. I mean, that's essentially what happened with me. I was friends with Hunter Jackson. I met him I met him and Don when I was in high school. I was going to the shows, even a little, just a smidge before Hello came out. When I saw my first GWAR show. When Hello came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this band is so crazy, it's so good, and even that was just the most basic type of GWAR show, right? It was they had some props and costumes, and there was a limited amount of spew. They were just getting into the idea of taking tanks and pressurizing them and getting more blood out to the audience and stuff. But those shows were, I guess, I was 15 or something like that when I first saw GWAR, and I was just this is amazing. It's everything that a nerdy kid would love, metal, punk / gore, science fiction fuck fest. I mean, it was just amazing. So, um, yeah, I mean, at certain points I see like so many generations now because like everybody sort of passed it on as like the guys who either went on to do other things with their careers or just got tired of doing GWAR in general and moving on. uh you know there was enough young people to keep the torch going, right? So yeah.
Well, and then there's the whole. I mean, the GWARs. It's a family. There's so many bands that are kind of GWAR adjacent because you toured with them, or there are other acts that do costumes and stuff like
Sure.
Green Jelly, Radioactive Chicken Heads, and some of those guys
Yeah.
have all become kind of GWAR adjacent in one big family. So it's so neat, and that's why I've met quite a few of you guys because I had it started. I had Vinny from Belushi Speedball on,
Uh-huh.
and he knew Hunter from doing some artwork for the band.
Right.
So I got Hunter on, and then Hunter had told me to get a hold of you, and then Carrot Top from Radioactive Chicken Heads, and I had Carrot Top on here. He's actually one of my clients now as well, so I
Nice.
talk to him on a daily basis. So yeah, it's pretty neat how the group that you guys have for networking is. So me and Hunter actually did an episode about networking.
Oh wow. Nice, nice. Yeah, no, it's great. It's been interesting. Me and Hunter have been working on a lot of projects lately, and it's been fun to, get the team back together. It's been awesome. So
Yeah, seeing him disrupt some like the conventions and
oh
stuff like
man,
the panels. It was just,
that
I
was
love
awesome.
it because you always hear stories about when a member leaves or retires and stuff, and to see everybody back having fun like that, it was like
Yeah,
fuck all the bullshit everybody was talking. Like, oh look, everybody's good. It was so neat to see some of that stuff this
yeah. It was
year.
funny too because I didn't know 100%. He was like on the fence about if he was gonna be able to come, and it wasn't until like that afternoon that I knew he was actually gonna be there. So I didn't tell the rest of the guys. I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. And so some of the reaction was more genuine because they're like, what the hell? He's jumping on the table, and it was typical awesome hunterness. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely
It's
cool.
awesome. Well, like we were talking about with the different generations finding you guys now, and I mean, it's. I guess I've known of you for so long. Everyone I know knows of you, probably for me. But you always assume everybody knows about GWAR. Everybody knows what their stage antics are like, but then tell us about what happened at Riot Fest this year.
Well,
It was like nobody had ever heard of you or what you
yeah, well
guys do.
that's what's so crazy. So I just mentioned Australia, right? And that's what happened when it was the second time we'd been to Australia, and we were doing the typical thing that we normally do, and we'd been doing this since probably earlier shows, right? Mid '80s or whatever, that time period, where you killed a politician or celebrity, right? That was always just the effigy thing. It was always kind of baked into GWAR. And we were like, okay, we're gonna kill the prime minister at the time was Tony Abbott, so we killed him. We had the Queen, the new baby, him. We had all this stuff that was like centric for Australia, and that's what they focused on was just, oh, how dare they come to our country and cut our prime minister's head off? That's so disrespectful. It made national news, right? And the promoter was like high fiving us, like, yes, thank you. You just advertised the crap out of the festival because here we are we should kick them out of the country for chopping the head off. But that was essentially like with all the craziness with politics and stuff in our country at this point, it was almost like, oh, they turned around and looked at like, what are you doing over there? Like it was like for some reason we killed Trump and Elon Musk in the Riot Fest show, and it made national news again. And it was like, oh, here they're being disrespectful and blah blah. I was like, look at the playbook, bro. Like we've been killing. I mean, we even dug Reagan back up and killed him. It's like,
It's not partisan. It's possibly the
yeah,
only non-partisan,
oh
bipartisan, whatever you
man,
want to call it. You guys always have the effigy of whoever the most current leader is. You always have, and it was so funny because like we were talking about, because I was able to get a hold of you. Like, yeah, we'll book the show. I'm like, all right, I'm not sure what our topic will be. We'll decide on that. The very next day, you guys play Riot Fest, and on Sunday, it's on fucking CNN, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why did something happen? And I'm reading the article. I'm like, they've been doing this for 40 years. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
hey, that's cool. You guys got noticed though, and I'm like, I think I know what we can talk about on the
Yeah.
show now.
Well, you know, that's what I always find so funny about it. It's like, you know, you look at institutions like South Park or people like that who've made it their, you know, goal to continually, you know, poke fun at those types of things, where it is like from an artistic expression, it's like we are supposed to be able to do that, especially in this country, the way that it's supposed to be set up. We're supposed to be able to do that without impunity. We're just going, hey, this is what we're doing. We're not inciting. We're just putting out there. Here's some things you might want to pay attention to, you know? But, you know, the fact that people just use it as some sort of knee jerk agenda these days, I'm just like, man, like,
Well,
come on, dude. Like, the show itself, there's so much. Yeah. In addition to that, we killed a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex too. So that, you know, like what else?
people picketing with their signs.
Yeah, it's like no more dino. You know, like a PETA for dinosaurs comes out like, yelling at us. You know, like come on, man. I mean, America's got to lighten up, man. Stop looking at their phones and watching, you know, TV news for just a minute. Go have fun and
Well,
enjoy
I
yourself.
was I just had a guest on this band, the Iron Roses. We were talking about that. Is when when growing up we had you could watch. There's well not I mean even recently Daily Show was the fun one you go to watch some funny political commentary. It was kind of like Mad Magazine kind of
Sure.
vibe. Well, now Daily Show's become it's like an actual news source because we can't fucking trust anybody. So
Mhm.
luckily we've still got like South Park or GWAR to go to for that parody and that parody and that satire because yeah, I mean when the satirical ones all of a sudden are becoming the real news sources, we've got a problem because they're trying to actually do the right thing though instead of the other news sources becoming a parody and fake news. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like because it's I think it's one of the responsibilities of the artist to actually point those things out, to use the foibles and faults of the society to say, hey, here's the things that are wrong, but I don't necessarily have to show you as a harsh reality. I can show you in this like softer or this more comical or more satirical way. I don't need to just be blatantly doing the same thing, but I have to be doing that. That's part of what art does, is it's supposed to, you know, ignite something in you to go think outside of what we're normally being told. It's like, okay, you can read a book or you can watch something on TV or watch a movie or whatever, but you need to have more viewpoints and opinions than just one, right? So art, I hope, incites that as much as we possibly can, especially because we're wrapped up in heavy metal and blood, so it's like a lot of times people judge a book by the cover and really don't dive enough into what we're actually trying to do, or even the mythos or the bigger stories that we're trying to get across. I mean, a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, you're just that band that does this, and it's like, but we do so much more. It's like that's why the true fans get it and they're so into it, because they know that we do a lot of stuff up there. So
Everybody buys a white shirt to wear to GWAR that they're never going to wear again.
yeah.
You guys should just sell white T-shirts at the door for like $100 a pop.
Yeah.
And just plain Hanes tees.
Yeah,
And
we had
I mean, they buy them up.
no, we have this one that we do every once in a while. It's a white on white. It's got white ink on it, so when the blood hits it, then the design shows up. I always love that one. That one's so much fun. But yeah, we definitely just have to get one of the prerequisites for going to one of your first GWAR shows is either to do a handmade, like draw on your own T-shirt, or just come up with a white shirt, or buy a white shirt at the merch booth, preferably. No, yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, this you guys have been doing, like you said, with an effigy of whoever, whether it's politician or celebrity, whatever it is, and it's more not even political. It's more about the pop culture aspect of it. Is where I mean, yeah, there's a political side of it too, but it's all
Sure.
it's just what's popular, what's going to get the best reaction. I mean, were you surprised how quick the backlash was? After I mean, at 40 years of doing the exact same thing, is it? What do you what caused it? Were you guys surprised at that?
No, I mean, I think like what's always great, like Riot Fest, we've had a really good relationship with Riot Fest. They really know how to use the, publicity machine up there, and I don't know if it was a few people started to write that, like somebody caught on to somebody, some dingbat who wrote like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're killing Trump and Elon Musk, how disrespectful are," and then they just were like, "That's funny. Let's just pump the crap out of this because that's ridiculous in itself." That it's just like, yeah, a bird can fly? No way. How does that? When did that happen? Who told me that? It's like. Fish breathe underwater? What madness is that? Like it's just like, well, what? I just it doesn't shock me that people get that way, but it is just funny to see how it builds to point where we're taking interviews about it, considering like it was really funny because the next show we had already planned about it. We were always like, oh man, we're getting so tired of like the cavalcade of jackassery, like let's kill this guy and this celebrity and this politician and stuff. Let's just tell a story. That's what we had talked about for the fall tours. Like we're just gonna go out and tell a story. So that's what we did. We just went out and told the story of the comic and the album because we just wanted to have fun and be something like escapist. And then immediately, like the first week, people were like, "Oh man, they're totally folding because they didn't want to get into this." And it's like, man, look, like, yeah, that's what we did. We spent all this time and money and effort to pivot because we got all scared that we're going to take, we'd spent all this money on building a Trump robot or this, that, or the other, and then we pulled the plug on it at the last minute because we were scared. It was like, we wouldn't have a career anymore, man. We'd be like a warehouse full of unused props. I'm like, that's not what happened. We were already in the planning of that.
It's like you could pivot from day to day and go into transition into a flawless production of a completely different stage show.
Yeah,
like, oh God, I'm scared. Let's do this.
Yeah,
like you could do that on your best fucking day, let alone the whole band's full of anxiety. No, it was clearly planned.
Yeah, and GWAR, in my experience, we have never ever, if anything, we just lean harder into it. It's like, oh, what, you got scared of that? Well, check this out.
Oh yeah, like you guys have always been the naughty kid. Like,
yeah.
if I'm in trouble anyways, well, then I could watch this.
Why not? I had a friend. She was this sweet Southern belle. She's hilarious. She came. We did the Lacey Peterson skit.
Oh.
And the whole thing is that we had her confronting Scott Peterson, and she's dead, and the corpse, and the baby's a corpse, and we're like, and she's like, "Why did you kill me? Why did you kill me, Scotty?" And she's just like railing him as his corpse, right? And my friend she goes, "Well, I love y'all, but y'all going to hell." It's like, it's like that was just a little too much for her, and I was like, but you got to see the beauty in that, where we're taking that moment and allowing that victim to, confront the perpetrator, and we're like, come on, man, that's what a lot of people would like to see in the cosmic justice scale, right? Like him get his comeuppance for killing his pregnant wife,
God, the schlock aspect of it is so fun.
Yeah.
So and that's, I mean, so, and with how creative, I mean, I've always said, it's an art collective as much as a band. It's an entire production now. You don't see, God, I think I talked to Hunter about this. You don't see, Broadway musicals and stuff based on horrors, because the amount of work that goes into it is mind-numbing. Sure. I just see from an outside. I mean, you guys are putting on an entire theatrical play every single night. They don't do that even in a theater where it's stationary, and you guys are dragging the shit on the road and doing it. I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a task. We were after just getting back from Australia, putting all of our stuff in hockey bags and shipping it all over the place. It's definitely the flight crews are like, "Damn you, 31 hockey bags full of crap," you know.
So after the Riot Fest you were talking about, you don't never know if it turns someone posted something on social media, somebody wrote something or where, then next thing you know it's on CNN because how the hell did they even hear about it?
Right.
Did CNN even know what Riot Fest was before
Yeah.
that?
Right.
And I'm sure because, well, like we were talking, all marketing now is social media. It's social media numbers now. And you guys have got all the band and the band members all are very active on social media. A lot of you don't keep your, um, personal and professional side different. People know who you are and stuff like that. Did you guys deal with any online hatred and stuff after the Riot Fest? More so than usual, I guess.
No, not really. I mean, well, like, yes, in the sense where there was death threats and things like that. Yes. Uh, the thing about it is I've never taken any of that type of thing seriously because, if you spent any time on 4chan, you understand that like there's a lot of people who are keyboard warriors who just get all big and puffy. Not saying that there's not the one or two people who mentally don't, have it up there to say, I'm not going to spend all my time and effort and know how to track this person down and kill him or whatever. But it's just a matter of like, I don't know, being able to assess it. It seemed like it was just a bunch of people talking smack, and I didn't take it as seriously as some other people did. But um, it definitely was like a sign of how things have changed because we went from the fact when the band started, there was none of that, right? You had none of this oversight when it was like, hell, you could get away with all of it, right? And people also, I think, were a little bit more tolerant of what you had to say or trying to listen to what you had to say versus just trying to shut you down because you're getting in uncomfortable territory.
I
And
remember watching you guys in character on the daytime trash TV on the talk shows and
sure.
stuff back. Like that's my generation was watching,
Yeah.
Springer and Jenny Jones and all of that stuff. And you guys always have, but you've been about okay, let's sit down and talk about it. I'll do it in character and
Yeah.
still I'll talk
Well, I mean,
you. I'll talk your point.
that's the beauty of the entire concept. It's like you have this alien and you have its viewpoint of humanity, right? So the juxtaposition of being able to go, why would this alien think that this is ridiculous? Because this alien actually can do whatever the hell it wants, right? Because it can, it's pretty much indestructible, can do a bunch of crazy shit that would kill humanity in a heartbeat, right? And actually has a little bit of disdain for it, right? In the same sense where it's like, you guys are doing a lot of silly shit to each other that you don't need to be doing. Um, so yeah, it's interesting to see that, as it progressed, like I said, I had spent some time separating my personal life from my character and, because I like to have some anonymousness of it to, have my life separate from this. But, that's why I like with my Instagram, I've just basically, it's like Sawborg, 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 Sawborg. It's hard for me sometimes to also post like the stuff that I know would be better for, creating the artwork and behind the scenes and those types of things to post those up. Primarily because this job takes so much of your time to create, it's very hard to turn around and be able to like, dump that stuff, or do all that work in a day. So, I need to get better at that for sure. but it's definitely interesting to see that, at this point, I think we've been lucky in the grand scheme of it, right? Other than having, Brocky get arrested for the cuttlefish and those types of things, because some of the things that we've done, I know that we've been asking for it. And primarily, it's not even for pure shock. It's just the fact that like if it makes us laugh, or if we're all incited in as a group to be like, yeah, that's something that resonates with the group to talk about, then that's what we do. We're not sitting there. I don't chase the Reddit threads like, oh my God, what did they say? What do we need to talk about now? Or what do we need to do? I don't care. I don't care. I'm creating art. I'm having fun doing what I want to do, express myself as an individual or as part of this group, and that's how I look at it. I'm like, everybody's got an opinion, and art and music are subjective, so whatever, you know.
I've quoted it probably damn near every episode that I'm talking about creative side of things, but I think it was Warhol said, make art, and while people are deciding if it's good or not, make more.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
just, if you stay busy, that hatred you're getting online is good because there's going to be people defended too. So
Yeah,
all that traffic on your social media is doubling, and hate is heat. And as long as it's not something that's getting to you, you can really use it as motivation. And if not
sure.
motivation, you can just, like you guys, like you said, you're just busy. You ain't
Yeah.
got time to read all the bullshit
No,
online
I
to
mean,
worry about it.
even if you indulge down the rabbit hole of like, oh, what do they think about this or that or whatever, it's like, yeah, you're going to have the people who absolutely hate and the people who just love the crap out of it. There's going to be the dichotomy of that no matter what. It's like what you're trying to do. You know, as an artist, you create it for yourself, right? You try to have self fulfillment by creating this stuff for you, right? And because we live in a consumer-based society now, that yes, you have to, and if you want to make a living off your art, you have to try to find your audience or your niche and appeal to said audience. But um, a lot of times I'm like, I know that the people that you'd want to shake to the top of it will get what you're trying to do. The people who either just want to pretend and play and get pissed off about stuff, are they really just, are they upset with other shit that doesn't even have to do with you? That's part of it. I think that if we were doing something that was so bad, we wouldn't have a career. There wouldn't be enough people paying for it or trying to support us if we were doing something that was, just not redeemable in any way, you know. So
You guys, I mean, you guys have honestly been very good about not going over the top because you've always carried yourself, whether it's an interview like this or on stage, there's a goofiness to it. You're all a bunch of post middle aged guys that never grew up, as is your fan base. That's me right here. So it's, I mean, you've always had this goofiness to it where you could probably get away go even pushing it more because it's okay, we're GWAR.
yeah,
And you haven't though, and it's kind of neat to see because like you've got that where you could almost do literally take what your stage show, take the live video and put in like the radio edit where it bleeps and puts a black bar over it, and it would be even funnier. It's
sure,
like when they did the PG-13 cut of
right,
Deadpool. For
yeah,
some reason, it was even better, and it
sure,
made you laugh. Where I mean, you guys have got that you could do the political stuff or the social commentary and still have that fun edge to it that makes people learn something a little bit and just have a damn good time doing it though. And it's
yeah. I
just it's
mean,
fun to see.
that's the big one. First and foremost, just have a good time. If they learn something or get something out of it, even better. But you know, we're here to entertain. We're not trying to ruin anybody's day. it's like it's like the scum dogs are. They want to kill everybody. But but us, we're just in here having fun.
I mean, sometimes it is kind of nice if you can ruin some people's day though without doing
No,
anything
yeah,
less you normally do.
it's fun. It's funny because like I sit there and I think about it. I'm like, did the people that you're really trying to poke fun at or whatever, do we as a group even register in that way, right? Like there are some people that know about us or whatever get frustrated at some of the things that people said in the band before, or taking things personally or that this or the other, when a lot of it was like from some of our past beefs with people, it was other band members being jealous of what they had, or that kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, you guys are more successful than us, you make more money than us, da 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 da. You kind of do the same thing, you know. There's that, or there's the people that like that doesn't even register. It's like, you know, GWAR, who? What are you talking about? You know.
It's got to be one of those weird feelings because, like you said, it's it's 40 years, and you guys have been doing this a long fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's got to be cool, like, hey, CNN, but then it's like, it's been 40 years. Why the fuck did it take them so long?
Yeah, exactly.
We've been doing the same fucking shtick.
Yeah.
Why? What? As a marketing guy, I don't get it. I can't imagine how it's got to feel as the artist that's been like, we've been here the whole time. Bro, we've been here the whole time.
I think that's part of the other thing about us, right? Like, we came in a unique time, right? Because if you're like, oh, magazines, and then your promotion and things that you had to do back in the day to get your products out there, get your art out there, is a lot different than it is now, and yeah, to sit there and like somebody's late to the picnic because they never heard of us or whatever. I don't think it was ever a long time that was never a priority with us, right? It was like, oh, we're gonna go out, we're gonna tour, we're gonna put out a record, we're gonna make some videos and stuff. Maybe MTV will put it on, maybe they'll find a spot for us in their programming for us. But we poured all of our money back into the art. It was just always the next thing. Well, what about this giant monster, or this big robot, or how about a dinosaur attacking the robot? What about that? It's like, okay, let's do it all.
I can't even imagine, because I'm lucky enough to talk with you and talk with Hunter and see how creative you guys are, and just the amount of documentaries I've watched on the band. And I can't imagine, because usually a lot of people, they're really creative, or they're really talented on the technical side of it, but seeing someone that's really good at both is incredible. You got an entire band that is creative and they're technically gifted. It's got to be just a nightmare, because all of a sudden the next night you could have 6 new things on the stage because you guys could build that in a night.
Yeah.
How do you keep it from getting too big? Because all this shit does have to get moved from one location to the next.
It's difficult because there's this part where, we go, all right, so here's our concept, our idea. Let's just, nothing's wrong. Let's throw it all in there, and then you have to go, all right, how do we make this into a stage show? Let's pull this little part right here out, because all this won't fit. This would be like 43 semi trucks. We're not gonna do that, Let's try one. Let's put it all in one, But yeah, there was a time when we had this, creative ways of how we've always worked. It was like one time we had Brocky would want to just come up and write a concept or write a script. So we're like, okay, we're gonna write a show script for Lust in Space, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll work on it. And we're asking him and bugging him and asking him and bugging him, and it was like months were going by, and we're like, where is it? Come on, man, we need to get working. What are you doing? Let's go. And he came in, he drops this freaking, it was, if you couldn't have done all 3 Lord of the Rings movies justice with this treatment for this thing. And we were like, okay, how are you seeing this? And he's like, we'll go forwards in time to planets. We'll go to this planet. We'll go to that planet. We'll do this. We'll do that. And we're like, you're not how, how do you
be a fly on the wall during that pitch?
Oh my God.
Would have been remarkable to see.
Me and Don were sitting there with like tweezers going, well, there's this sin virus. We'll take that out. We're like, we're like, maybe we jam these 4 things together. It'll make a show based on this, But, there was a thing where it's like, I never personally want to be the guy who goes, no, it's just too much, because I want there to be that, like, yeah, let's do one stupid idea piled up on another stupid idea. It'll be hilarious, But there's that time where it's reality hits, when it's like the artists who are here 80 hours a week, working their asses off to get everything done, to get out the door, that's just where the reality sets in. You can only do so much, So if we were ever into that level of like, you know, multi-million dollar facility, that level of money, a GWAR show would be just ridiculous. I mean, just the most ridiculous spectacle you'd ever see on the planet. That's what a GWAR show would be. Because we wouldn't care. It'd be like, yeah, let's go play the Dome in Vegas, and we'll use that. We'll have crap
Oh,
attacking you and spewing from all directions, and, no one's safe.
you just described my bucket list. No,
Yeah.
that's gotta fucking happen. You can't tease that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The first time I saw that, I was like, what could I do in there? There's gonna be people on fly rigs and giant
Well,
monsters.
especially because it'd be set up. You're doing it 1 week there, so you just come in and do 1 or 2 shows a day and not have to set everything up and tear it down.
The dome would be a smoldering crater when we're done.
Oh my god!
Just a smoldering crater of craziness.
Whoever books the Vegas Dome, I hope they're watching this episode.
No, we won't destroy the video. I'm just kidding.
That would get me to Vegas. That would get me back to Vegas. I've been there like 25 years. That would do it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be an amazing show.
All right. So, what advice do you have for the artists that are dealing with, especially nowadays, everything's so us against them, which rightfully so. And what advice do you have for the artists that are falling on that, where they are getting the negative attention by just being themselves, and now people have a problem with people just being themselves? What advice do you? I know you're able to stay busy and push past it because you've been doing this for so long, and you were raised without social media, so it's not as big of a deal. But these younger artists, social media, they got the marketing, they're in there, it's part of their life, they've grown with it. What do you tell those kids, man? It's tough.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like you'd have to be inhuman not to be like, oh, if somebody's going to hurt your feelings about what you do. You pour your soul and your energy into this thing and they don't like it. And that's disappointing. But that's to be expected because humanity's fickle and complicated. So you can't sit there and expect that every single person on the planet's going to like what you do. So if you start from there and just work your way back, you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna set my armor up to where is this person significant enough that I should listen, or should I take the advice, or should I critique myself a little bit more? Maybe I can grow a little bit more. Maybe I can transform myself as an artist a little bit differently this way, but by my will, not by the fact that some uptight, upset person had a bad day and shit on your work. It's like I never would want to float that way, and I don't think anyone should. Especially, it's an expression from yourself. If you're doing music or art or any of that type of stuff, it's like you're performing. It's for you primarily, right? So don't let someone else ruin it for you. Don't let someone else's negativity take you down, or even to a certain extent shape it. Unless you find validity in their critique, or you agree with it, then change it. But fuck them, fuck them. That's always been my mentality. Once you get to a certain point, you just like the people that you have that are around you, that you respect their opinions and their ideas and stuff like that, then those are the people you listen to, or you say, okay, they said no, that probably is, I probably should listen to that, versus, who the fuck cares what Joe Blow 69 said on Reddit? I never understood that mentality.
It feels like it's getting worse, but it really isn't. It's not that there's more assholes; they're just louder now.
Sure.
I mean, people have always been the way they are. Yeah, a few have turned. Yeah. None of them have surprised us. We're like, that's about right. But it's just that I've never been one to shit on things that other people like, unless it's something that's literally like it's hurting someone, it's harmful. Sure. That's not cool. Otherwise, like, I don't care if it's country music or pop music or you like romance movies. I don't give a fuck. I hate the word guilty pleasure. If nobody's getting hurt, there should be no guilty pleasure. I've never been one to shit on other people's stuff. So it just blows my mind when I'll see people go in people's comments on Facebook of an artist that they don't even listen to. They saw 1 5-second clip and have to tell them how terrible it is. And I'll never understand if somebody posts of YouTube link, and I think the band sucks. I just keep going.
Hmm.
I've never understood why people all of a sudden, like I said, people are just getting braver and louder. And the old
Well, I
saying,
mean,
empty barrel makes the most noise.
yeah, it's that like what we were discussing with the 4chan keyboard warrior, right? Like you're secure in your opinion, and also I think social media has uh, imbued into people this ability to think that their opinion truly matters, right? Like to a certain extent, right? You're like, okay, enough voices get together and say no, that's true, right? But you and at 4 o'clock in the morning on Reddit going, no, 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 that, who the fuck cares, right? Where's that really? The other four people on that thread are like, yeah, you're right. It's like cool, but when it really gets down to it, it's like I've seen people just be more uptight, boisterous. I think it's because we're in a state of oversaturated media, propaganda, that type of point where everybody's constantly in fight or flight, so everybody's just in an aggro position to begin with, versus like, hey, is life really that shitty right now? Really? Like it's not. Especially
Yeah,
depending on where you're living, really.
yeah, and I get how bad but that's another one where um people being in everybody else's business. If
Sure,
you keep to yourself, it's not it's just it's way easier. I mean, obviously stick up for people when they need it.
sure.
But I mean, I don't if you're not hurting me, I don't give a fuck. I've got my wife, kids, and grandkid. That's like I don't go out. I don't go do stuff like I don't like stay away, man. I'm good here. But anybody needs me, I'm the first one there too. But just stay out of other people's business and it's stay happy. You have to choose to not.
Sure.
I mean that's not true. There's people that are going through some horrible shit right now. I don't mean to
No,
make
that's
light of
true
that in
too.
any way.
Yeah,
But for the general people that are out there, just the loudest ones aren't the ones that are going through shit though. They're
sure.
the victim mentality, and they're the ones trying to make the most noise for no reason. Those
Yeah,
are the ones I'm talking about, not the people that actually need someone to stand up and speak loud for them.
sure. Yeah, I mean, because they don't have the ability to do that,
No,
It's like, but
and
yeah,
it's
I think
just
I, I think that we're definitely living in a unique time frame where because the technology is captured in the sense where the propaganda, I'm gonna say again, is just I feel like we're just so oversaturated with it. It's just weird. It seems like everywhere you go, whatever you do, I'm like, yes, am I gonna pay the extra $3 a month for Netflix to get rid of the goddamn ads that
oh
I don't watch regular TV because the advertisement is so over the top rampant bullshit where it's like everybody's trying to insert ad revenue into every single little thing that you're part of now, and I get it, people gotta pay the bills, but criminy, it's like
maybe if Netflix would stop making so many shitty movies and cut back, they wouldn't have to have commercials to pay for all of them.
sure, yeah. Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. Aren't they part of that whole
Oh yeah, the big
debacle?
Warner thing that's going on or whatever, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's gonna be bananas. That doesn't bode well for the industry.
No, I've still got all my physical media.
Me
I've
too.
got probably 1,000 burned DVDs.
Yeah.
I've still got my all my VHS tapes from
Yeah, me,
almost
guilty.
40 years ago.
There's definitely enough of us in the band who are like retro, like we're all like VHS and DVDs and Blu-ray stuff. It's physical media still is king to us, and not because we're not, because I watch streaming all the time and get into that stuff, but it is that thing where it's like I don't know, I got away from those things because I had control over the way that I digested that media instead of like, oh, now I got to sit here and watch it broken up and listen to all this bull
Hmm.
crap about all the stuff I should go buy instead of like, I just want to watch this thing and be entertained. Um, yeah, it's definitely a weird time.
Sure is. All right. So, what have you got coming up in the new year, 2026?
Oh, there's already some tours that are scheduled. There's some announcements going out, I think, in the next few weeks about our tours that are coming up. And there's definitely some projects that can't talk about yet, but they're coming through the pipeline. We're hoping that the second wave of the action figures get done next year as well, but we'll see how that all rolls out. But yeah, lots of good stuff.
All right. Well, thank you again, Matt. Like I said, you guys have been busy. We had to reschedule. You're here, you're gone, you're Australia. So I know how busy you guys are, and I super appreciate you taking time
No.
to come on the show.
Yeah,
And
thanks
you
for
will
having
be
me on.
sticking around for a second episode. So people, you'll have to stick around and find out when that is. It ain't going to be right after it. So Matt Maguire, Sawborg Destructo. I'm running out of Destructos now. I've had Techno and Sawborg on.
Yeah, got one more.
Got one more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, thank you very much. And everybody, as always, please like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Let me know how I'm doing, good and bad. And as always, please have fun and be nice to each other, because if you don't, there's no freaking point. We will catch you next time.